So then guys, just a couple of weeks ago, we had the launch of the new iPhones, including the iPhone 17, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and also the brand new iPhone family member, the iPhone Air. This is Apple's thinnest iPhone they have ever made, and to be deadly honest, until you hold one in your hand, it's absolutely unbelievable how light this is and how thin this is in your hand. Now, I've been testing out this iPhone Air and I've made even reviews about it, telling you about its good points and its bad points. Now, two parts that really stick out to me, what are bad points with this phone, is to do with the actual camera on the back and also the battery life compared to, say, the Pro and the Pro Max and also the iPhone 17 normal. But then the thing is though, comparing the battery life of the normal iPhone Air right now, even to say the likes of an iPhone 15 Pro, it is still better. Remember, this phone only came out 2 years ago, the iPhone 15 Pro. It is smaller than it and it's got a ProMotion display. But yet, you know, it's thicker in its design, but yet the battery life in the iPhone Air is still better here than what we get even inside of this phone right here. But the only other negative that I've also pointed out about is obviously the camera. The camera is not the best on the iPhone Air unless you literally just use it for just doing your standard kind of camera photos at 1x, 2x, even 3x zoom. The second you step up to say 10x zoom, it just starts to fall apart. But the good news is that it looks like the iPhone Air 2 is going to have some great improvements in it. And let's talk about the first thing I've just spoke about, and that is battery life. Is it going to get improved? Well, it does look like this is going to get even better for the next generation of the iPhone Air 2. We've been told right here that the new carbon lithium batteries are still on their way to come to Apple devices. We didn't actually get any of these batteries added to the iPhone range this time, what was a shame. And remember, we do have these kind of batteries, like Honor are using them right now, like we have it in the likes of the V5 right now, they're foldable. Also the likes of, say, Oppo, they put this inside of their N5 and it does a great job there. We get fantastic battery life out of that we can squeeze that into a foldable phone, and yet they're so thin. And it looks like this is what Apple are planning to do, to move these batteries into the likes of the iPhone Air 2 and even into their Pro and Pro Max phones eventually. So this is incredible news to hear that the next line of the iPhone Air is going to probably get this inside of it. Now, the next thing I would say is definitely going to be improved is probably also the chips that are going to be put inside of it. Remember, we got that brand new N1 chip for Wi-Fi and for Bluetooth technology, and we've also got the C1X chip as well, what is a modified version of the C1 chip that we got like in the iPhone 16e, except for it does things like better with 5G connectivity and also works better with the N1 chip. And this means then that likely that we're probably going to get an N2 chip and possibly the likes of, say, a C2X chip. Probably we'll see a C2 chip first of all, then the C2X, but you can imagine these chips are being built from the ground up by Apple, and their main key thing to do is to make better efficiencies. That is the reason why Apple are making these chips. So this is fantastic news to hear that if we get this mixed together with those carbon lithium batteries, I'm quite sure that battery life is not going to be a big issue on the iPhone Air for the next generation. Now, the next thing I want to point out is all to do with the actual camera on this phone. Now, right now, the problem is that we've only got this 48 megapixel main camera sensor. And like I said, the second you start going up to higher zoom and things like this, it starts to fall apart. Well, hopefully what Apple will do is they are working alongside, say, Samsung right now and making a new kind of camera. And that is that we could even potentially get this new kind of sensor that's going inside the iPhone 18 Pro Max, and that sensor could also be put in the iPhone Air. Now imagine if it's a 200 megapixel sensor what gets put in like Samsung create right now. If this gets added into the iPhone Air, you can imagine that digital cropping is going to be even better. Remember, this is how the phone works at the moment. The 1x and 2x zoom is essentially the same 48 megapixels. You're not actually getting that, you're just getting the actual kind of realism, you're actually getting the quality of, say, a sort of 12 megapixel, 24 megapixel. I'm not quite sure what the 2x zoom is on it, but the point is it is really, really good. So you can imagine if you push this up to 200 megapixel, maybe when you go up to, say, 5x kind of zoom, or even if you go up to 8x kind of zoom, it might be very similar to what we get with, say, the iPhone 17 Pro right now because of that 200 megapixel sensor. So this is great news to hear that Apple are working with Samsung in bringing this sensor on board for at least the iPhone 18 Pro and the iPhone 18 Pro Max, and I'm quite sure if it becomes their main sensor, it would be put inside the likes of the iPhone Air 2. But the other thing, what I'm also hoping for, that with this sensor, that Apple could do something very similar to like what they've done right now with the front-facing camera and make it more of a square one, and maybe make that sensor the ability to actually have ultra-wide photos too, potentially. So, you know, that would be fantastic if that could be resized with the sensor to work like that, because that is also another feature that is missing. And then also the same with macro shots. This is also missing, and I really wish this was in the iPhone Air as well. So hopefully the iPhone Air 2 will also be getting this upgrade. But before any iPhone Air 2 comes out, something that will be happening in mid-January is the giveaway we are doing on this channel for this right here. I am giving away an iPhone 17 Pro Max to one lucky subscriber. International giveaway here, and this one here is actually the physical SIM version of it. So if your country doesn't allow eSIMs, you can still put a physical SIM inside of it. And like I said, mid-January I am going to be giving this away, and all you have to do to enter into this giveaway is just do two things for me. The first thing you need to do is just put down in the comments below of what technology gear you're hoping to get before the end of 2025 or maybe early 2026. Put it down into the comments below. Now, the second part of the giveaway will be happening near mid-January time, where I'll be making a video giving you even more details about the actual giveaway, including a form to fill in too. And if you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, because you want to see that video, because it'll give you all the details of when I do the live stream and things like this too. So yeah, definitely make sure that you get yourself signed up for that. Now, the other thing I just want to quickly tell you guys is that sadly there are still lots of scammers and spammers out there. People still impersonate me, telling you to WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram direct message. Please do ignore these people. Best to see right here. Please do report them. So moving on from this then, what other changes are we going to see with the iPhone Air 2? Well, one thing I think is going to happen is quite obvious. What happens with every iPhone, like you're seeing in these renders, we're probably going to get a whole load of new colors added to the range. Maybe we'll get some reds, maybe we'll get some greens and pinks added too. This would be fantastic, but as we get closer to the launch time, I'm sure, you know, we will know. Now, talk about the launch time of the iPhone Air 2. When is it actually going to be coming out? Now, most of you would probably think, well, it's probably going to be September 2026. Well, it looks like that might not be the case. We've actually had this leak in right here. It looks like Apple are looking to stagger out how they're going to do their releases in 2026 and 2027. It looks like that the end of September time 2026, we will get the likes of the iPhone 18 Pro and the iPhone 18 Pro Max, but we will also get the iPhone Fold. And then also that potentially into the early part of 2027, we could actually see the likes of the iPhone 18 normal release then, and then also the iPhone 18e at that time, and potentially we could even see the launch of the iPhone Air 2 around that point. So that is when we could actually see the launch of these new iPhones. So it's going to be a little bit longer potentially. And the reason why I say that's going to potentially be the case is because we've even seen right here, we've got a leak telling us that there's even the potential that a bigger display iPhone Air is even coming out in 2027. Maybe this new larger iPhone Air might be, say, 6.9 inch to match up with the iPhone 17 Pro Max kind of screen. And this kind of does make sense because at the end of the day, we have two sizes of the Pro phones right now. And then obviously like the MacBook Pros, we have two sizes of them. We have the 14 and the 16-inch, but you've got the MacBook Air where we have the 13-inch and the 15-inch. So this would kind of make sense that Apple would do this. And same with iPads as well. I won't go into that, but you've got the two sizes. So this is what Apple could be doing here. So we could have a larger one, and it would mean the battery would be even bigger in that, and then obviously the battery life would probably be even better in that one too. So at least that is some good news to hear. Now for price wise going forward, if we stick with the normal kind of 6.5-inch iPhone Air, I think that the likes of the actual price is going to stay exactly the same at $999 US. If we do get a Plus model, a larger iPhone Air, maybe that will cost probably about $100 or $200 more there for it. So maybe $100 or $200 US. But as we get closer, even though it's like over a year away from now, I'll be letting you guys know exactly what's going to be happening with the iPhone Air 2. But on that note, are you excited for it? Do you think Apple will do a better attempt on the next generation of the iPhone Air, or do you think it's going to be just as bad, or do you think it's going to be very similar to what we have right now? Well, let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. As always, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell too. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.